What I'm doing now, I'm not doing anything spectacular, but what I'm doing is like I'm looking at trees, enjoying nature, enjoying listening to the birds singing, enjoying the greenness of my local park. And that has been something that has been quite difficult for me to do because I live with a mental health disorder. We're talking about depression, we're talking about complex PTSD, we're talking about all the visceral effects of said um, condition. But today we are some hours away from Christmas, and the reason why I'm making these recordings in all my unbeautifulness is to hopefully encourage somebody else that is in that depth of despair, that depth of blackness that usually comes around during national holidays like Christmas and New Year, to know that you can get better. It's chilly, I'm in the park. You can and will get better. Um, I did a previous video, and in it, I tried to talk about the unrealness of looking good on social media or anywhere in life, and how to be the best of yourself is to embrace the realness of yourself. And that is what I am doing. I am 62 years old, and it's taken me from the age of about 5, when I knew what pain was, to accept my limitations, to accept anything that my society might consider to be, how would I put this, to be considered not acceptable or not something we want to be known as. Um, Let me just show you my park. I'm just admiring it. I have to say, I do have to give thanks to heritage and to those long ago that donated these spaces to other people so that they might enjoy them. Anyway, I digress. I sat down here because I just wanted to talk about things that I rarely spoken about on social media and link that into mental health. Talking about mental health is not attractive, it's not um, enticing, it's not sexy, but it's something that we all live with. And it's something that a lot of us don't bring to our conscious self. We have these visceral feelings that struggle within us, like two wolves, a bad one and a good one. Your life experience is what will determine if whatever wolf comes out to play. Um, and I do think we need to be aware of that. Um, Recently, I had a brain scan, and it altered a lot of perceptions about myself, because within the MRI brain scan, there were three findings. The one I want to talk about is demyelination. And demyelination in itself is something to do with the nerves, the coating. That's how basic I can put it, because I'm trying to recollect how to explain it. Is when the sheaths of your brain um, are compromised. For example, you might have holes in it. For example, the extension cords you have in your home, and the wire that runs through it. If the sheaths around those wires are perforated or have what can I call it? Have holes in them, you might be at risk of electrocuting yourself. Sorry, it's a bit noisy. I'm sitting in the park. You might electrocute yourself, and therein lies the danger. When you have when you have issues happening with your brain, communication, cognitive thought, self-awareness is severely limited, and that's one of the things I found out recently. Unfortunately for me, what I will say, there are three things that I found out, but that is the main one I want to talk about in to link that with mental health. This condition is called a bilateral. I'm not going to lie, I can't remember what it's called, but I will try and put it up. I'll try to create a reel. It's called a bilateral hypatosis, something something. So basically, that is one of them, and I also have minute holes in parts of the nerve system of my brain. If I'm repeating things, forgive me. That is part of the condition. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I have always had problems with my mental health, but I never knew what I could attribute to that. And this condition that was identified, what happens is that you don't you there are no outward symptoms that tell you that you're suffering from this disorder. It just happens, and it's when it's at its worst is when you start having debilitating headaches, dizziness, blurriness of the eyesight, on uneven gait. And the only reason why I knew I had this condition was because I pressurized my doctor to give me an MRI scan, and that is what was discovered. And having that, being that that was discovered um, late, I'm living with the effects of that. And I'm only putting this out there so that I used to quote the uncomfortable feelings I was living with as something to do with having migraines. And unfortunately, it's only when you have an MRI scan that the condition shows its devastating difficulties or the issues that have happened in the brain. By then, it's already set. Those issues are already set. Um, and that's why I'm talking about it. I am talking about it, one, maybe to have an archival record, to have a record of what I'm going through, and two, also maybe as a learning point. It's never going to be easy. It's never going to be an easy topic to talk about. It's not a sexy topic to talk about, but I'm hoping towards the end of this year that talking about these uncomfortable, unsexy things would help somebody else. You might think you have a mental health disorder, you are behaving erratically, you isolate, you deregulate, you lose your cool so easily, not knowing that is something that is wrong with your brain. So I just wanted to put this out there. Just wanted to put that, as devastated as I am by the result, I'm happy that um, I have an idea of what is happening to me. And my goal for talking about this is hopefully anybody else that might say, "Oh, I'm not very sure what's happening here," to take the bull by the horn, get checked out. Don't presume, don't assume. Check it out. That's all I can say. Um, I'm going to go home now and cook jollof rice. I love cooking jollof rice. My daughter loves it, and it's a staple food of most African cultures. I'm going to have a quiet day. I hope you are going to have a quiet day as well. Um, Christmas is but one day. It is but just the one day. Don't forget that. Once it's gone, it's gone. Um, and we all, that is something I never thought about. I've always just simply lived within my limitations. And I'm paying dearly for that now. And I'm hoping that this is a Christmas gift to anybody listening. It might not be something that you are interested in, but it might help. Don't let your external view of the world limit your internal expectations. Um, and that's all I have to say. Um, I suppose I'm looking at things and being grateful, being grateful for whatever it is that I have. Oh my God, I'm looking at these two beds. I don't know if you can see it. Look. You do wonder, isn't it? Like life is something else. You look at two birds sitting in on the branches of a tree in this icy weather, and you wonder how did they survive? So why are we humans worrying so much? Anyway, this is my archival records of myself, what is going on with me, and it all ties into living with a mental health disorder, day-to-day basis. Nothing is as it seems, and nothing is sexy about it. But all I want to say here, before I keep on going round and round in a circle, is I wish you Merry Christmas and see you after the Christmas period. Thank you.